والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
الله نزل أحسن الحديث كتابا متشابها مثانية تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you to another episode of our series, The Sciences of the Quran. This is your host, Yasir Qadhi. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a categorization that the scholars of Islam have used since the earliest time. And this categorization is the categorization of the Makki and Madani verses and the Makki and Madani surahs. Now, we all know that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ received the Quran for a period of 23 years. 13 of them were in Mecca and 10 of them were in Medina. The situation of the Muslims in Mecca was very different than the situation in Medina. In Mecca they were weak, in Mecca they were powerless, in Mecca they were at the mercy of a far more powerful entity, and that is the Quraysh. Also in Mecca, the laws of Islam had not been revealed. Even the prayer was obligated right at the end of the Meccan stage. And there was no such thing as the legal laws of Islam of marriage and divorce and inheritance. All of these were not present. In Medina, on the other hand, the situation was the exact opposite. The Muslims were in charge. The Prophet ﷺ was a political and a social and an economic leader. He did and he decided everything. So the Qur'an came down to cater to that situation. Laws were revealed, laws were passed, legislations were made. Also, the Qur'an talks about the engagements of the Muslims politically, militarily. The whole situation has changed from Mecca to Medina. Therefore, it is no surprise to find that the revelation styles and the content is different from Mecca to Medina. And this science of categorizing the verses based upon their source of revelation, where did their location of revelation, not the source, but where were they revealed? This science was even understood by the companions themselves. One of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he said, I swear by Allah that there is no verse that has been revealed, no surah that has been revealed, except that I know why it was revealed. And there's not a single revelation except that I know the reason and the cause of that revelation. And if it were possible that I knew anybody who was more knowledgeable than me, I would go and study with him no matter what the cost. Meaning, I'm so eager to obtain knowledge that I would get any type of information from him no matter what the cost. In another statement of one of the companions, he said, ask me about the book of Allah, for I swear by Allah, there is not a single verse except that I know whether it was revealed at night or in the day, whether it was revealed while the Prophet ﷺ is traveling or while he is resident in the city. So it is not surprising then that the companions informed us a lot about the context of revelation, the time period of revelation. For example, we learned that Surah At-Tawbah, verse 118, it was revealed at Tabuk, at the place called Tabuk, in the last third of the night when the Prophet ﷺ was resting with Salama. This is what the hadith tells us. In another hadith, Ibn Mas'ud said, once we were with the Prophet ﷺ in one of the caves of Mina, outside of Mecca, when Allah revealed Surah number 77, وَالْمُرْسَلَاتِ عُرْفًا. And we also learned, for example, that the phrase, وَاللَّهُ يَعْصِمُكَ مِنَ النَّاسِ, Allah will protect you from mankind, was revealed at night, when the Prophet ﷺ was in a tent, surrounded by companions who were acting like bodyguards to him. And when Allah revealed, Allah will protect you from mankind, the Prophet ﷺ lifted up the door of the tent, and he said to the Sahaba around him, O people, you may now leave, you may go back to your tents, Allah has promised to protect me, so I don't need you as bodyguards. So, we were told this extra information which tells us the place and the location and maybe even the precise timing of revelation. So what exactly is the Makki and Madani verse? Well, a Makki verse is a verse that has been revealed before the Hijrah. And a Madani verse is one that has been revealed after the Hijrah. So what is important is not the physical location, but rather the time frame. For you see, the Prophet ﷺ was in Mecca for 13 years, and he went to other places as well. He went to the outer plains of Mina and Muzdalifah and Arafat. He went to the city of Ta'if. When he was in Medina, he traveled to many places. He traveled in the direction of Tabuk. He even returned to Mecca in the farewell pilgrimage. And in the conquest of Mecca, he returned. And yet, if the Qur'an that was revealed in the farewell pilgrimage, even though it was revealed in Mecca, we still call it Madani, because we're looking at the time frame. We're looking at not the place, we're looking at the chronological order of the verses. If the verse was revealed before the immigration to Medina, we call it Makki. And if the verse was revealed after the immigration, we call it Madani. Hence, what is important is not the geographic location, it is the date of the Hijrah. Question arises, how do we know Makki and Madani verses? Where does this knowledge come from? And the response is that, well, there are two ways to get this knowledge, one of which is a sure way, and the other one of which is an educated guess. The sure way of obtaining this knowledge is to rely upon the statements of the companions. This is because the companions many times would tell us quite explicitly where the verse was revealed or when it was revealed. So they would say, this verse came down, for example, in the Masjid of Quba. And if it came down in the Masjid of Quba, then it must be Madani. Or they would say, this verse came down when Abu Jahl said such and such to the Prophet ﷺ, and if that is the case, then it must be Makki. So by looking at the information that we get from the companions, we may explicitly state, this verse was revealed before the Hijrah, and that was revealed after the Hijrah.